Hey everybody. So Friff has a thread on Twitter talking about how we as a community should all come together and um, not have fractures or anything of the sort with various pools of smaller parts of the community that associate with one another. And I just want to kind of touch on that a little bit and maybe provide my perspective as to why we have that fracture and how we can fix it. So starting back when Guitar Hero 1 up to probably Guitar Hero 3, maybe World Tour was released around that time period of 2005, 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. You probably had a large group of players who were within the age group of 8 to 16. And a lot of us, I was in that group, had time to play the game. We could come home from school, play all day, play on the weekends, and it was great. We had time to invest in it. And you might have a few players who were on the older end, maybe in their early 20s, maybe college kids, and maybe some mid to late 20s adults playing the game. But I guarantee a large percentage of them at that time did not take the game really seriously because they just didn't have time. So now you want to fast forward 10 to 15 years later, and now you take that group that was in that younger age group and you move them up, and now you have a pool of players, a big group of players who are in the mid to late 20s, maybe early 20s, that associate largely with one part of the community. And now you have a new younger group between 8 and 16 that I know people have referred to them as the tapping toddlers, but not all of them are investing in and tapping. But you get my point. There's a younger group of players that have filled that void, and it's from an older player's perspective. I'm 29. It is really hard for me to talk to and communicate and have an understanding with a player who's 14. Literally half my age. It's hard to have any sort of connection with players that are that young in the community, because it's a complete, almost a generation apart from one another. And so I think you have players in the community that are pulling toward closer to their age group. And you've got kind of this weird area of, I'd say, between 18 and 22, college level, that kind of associate with both sides. But I think for us to come together as a community and get rid of these rifts and fractures and so on, are to have our community leaders, players who are very respected in the community and very well known. Friff, Gabe, Carney, Jared, Asai, these players really lead by example, show us how we need to behave in this community. And we all don't have to get along like we're all best friends, but having respect for one another and acceptance. And I personally think, when somebody shares an accomplishment, it doesn't matter how insignificant it might seem to you, but something that somebody worked on, I think sharing it and encouraging their progression, I think is an important thing as well. I've seen players make fun of others who are really, really proud of accomplishing certain things. And I'm not going to go into specifics because I don't want to call out certain players, but I think something like that creates more fractures and rifts than anything. I think a simple good or great job and just sharing the accomplishment and being like, hey, I know this player's worked really hard, etc., I think does go a long way. So with that being said, again, I think it's going to be up to our community leaders to lead by example and show us how we as a community need to get along, behave, and move forward. And you can say what you want about Friff. I know that people have had strong opinions of him, but you cannot deny that the man has been putting forth a ton of effort into trying to bring the community together and right wrongs from his past. And I think that is that's respectable. And we should definitely encourage any community member who has made some wrongs in their past to a point. I know there have been some community members in the past that have done some inexcusable things, and those should not get a pass. But any player who has maybe rubbed some players the wrong way, or just have been trying to make right certain annoyances or things that the community as large didn't find entertaining or so on. You kind of get my point. I think they should be given a chance to right their wrongs. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you guys have any comments or want to add to what I've said, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Agree or disagree. If you don't think that what I'm saying is relevant to the topic at hand, please let me know. But if you do agree, feel free to share the video. And yeah, this is just the ramblings of an older player. I'm definitely one of the oldest players active still in the community. I'm almost 30, not the oldest, but I'm up there. And I still want to see this community thrive and grow. And I really do think that what I said is how we're gonna fix it. So Gabe, Carney, Jared, Asai, Friff, if you're watching this video, bring us all together. Show us how we can. How we're supposed to engage as a community and how we can move forward in a positive direction. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and go. You guys take care.